The Red Sox may not be looking good right now, but that does not mean we are going to stop with the daily Red Sox videos. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're going to have all Red Sox all the time. Recaps are coming in faster than anywhere else on YouTube. I'm going to give you deep analysis on every single game. There's no commercial breaks, and it is 100% free. If you bleed Red Sox baseball like I do, if you love them in the highs and the lows, like right now, make sure you hit that subscribe button for all the latest Red Sox news and Red Sox rumors. Here's everything you need to know about Boston's 8-5 loss to the Baltimore Orioles. Shawn Newcomb made his Red Sox debut, and except for getting absolutely shelled in the first inning for 4 runs, looked decent-ish. He did have to rely on a lot of double plays from this really elite-looking defense to get him out of a few jams, but none of the starters in the first round of the rotation looked that stellar. So Newcomb falls into that trap as well. It's the offense once again. The Red Sox left 7 runners on base and were 3 for 14 with runners in scoring position. They are tied for the first in the league with most strikeouts, and they also have the most strikeouts with 2 outs. This team, I don't know when they're going to figure it out. The bullpen did also let up their first runs of the year with 4, and Rafael Devers' struggles do continue. If you want more recaps like this, make sure you give me a follow. Make sure you subscribe to the Red Sox Rundown. All right, give me your one-word reaction to the Red Sox game versus the Orioles. We're going to get into a lot more detail. Just wanted to give you guys a quick 60-second recap to make sure you got all of the rumors and news that happened in this game. But then we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. One-word reaction to the Red Sox game versus the Orioles. Mine is typical. This was a typical-looking game so far this season. All right, Shawn Newcomb made his debut today. And this one was anticipated by a lot of people. He's a Mass native. He is a New Englander through and through. Red Sox fan since he was a kid. Great story. Very up and down start. The first inning in particular, he got absolutely shelled for 4 runs, and I think a lot of people, myself included, were thinking, "Oh boy, this game might already be over." We'll talk more about the offense in a little bit, but Newcomb overall did not wow. He got into a lot of jams. He had a lot of runners on base. And thankfully, due to some really great defense, which we'll talk about in a second, he was able to get out of a lot of those jams. I think he's going to be fine. He will probably only be in this rotation for 1, maybe 2 more turns of the rotation. We did talk about the injury news yesterday around Brian Bayo, Lucas Giolito starting their rehab starts in Worcester this week. So we may see Newcomb 2, maybe 3 more times, and then he will most certainly get sent back down to Worcester. But you let me know, grade Shawn Newcomb's Red Sox debut, A, B, C, D, or F? B-, C+? Probably. Did not wow me. Definitely got shelled in the first inning. And credit to the Orioles. I forget who tweeted this out, but someone tweeted out the pitch chart of what pitch was thrown and then what result came from it. The Orioles were all sitting his cutter, and they were all hitting his cutter. So they came in with a clear plan, unlike the Red Sox do, and absolutely shelled him in the first inning. So credit to them. Newcomb's outing was okay. It is what it is. Also, real quick, Tyler O'Neill, first game since he left the Red Sox in free agency, owned the Red Sox today with a bunch of hits. The defense, like I talked about earlier, is elite. We can overreact positively, too. I know we've been doing a lot of negative overreactions over the past few days. We can overreact positively as well. This defense, especially in the infield, we already knew the outfield was going to be elite, but this infield defense so far has proven to be elite. There were 2 errors today, yes. One of them was on Alex Bregman's absolute face plants in the late innings, which we'll talk about at the end of the video. But the addition of Bregman at third makes this defense elite. And having Bregman and Story and honestly Kristian Campbell be able to turn these double plays really, really smoothly, there's no doubt in my mind when a short ground ball gets hit to one of those guys with a runner on that they are going to turn that double play. You couldn't say that last year. Last year, whenever a ground ball got hit in the infield at all, there was panic. And so for me to have absolutely no fear about this defense whatsoever, That's something really special and something that I think we need to not take for granted, because I know everyone's saying Rafael Devers, he wants to play third. Guys, Bregman is the answer. And I think most people agree with that now. But I'm just happy to see that what was probably the Red Sox biggest issue last year, infield defense, turned into be one of their biggest strengths 5 games into the 2025 season. What's not great is the plate discipline. This team has a gross inability to expand the zone with 2 strikes. I don't know, because I cannot look at how many of these strikeouts were strikeouts looking, but I would say it's over half. 13 strikeouts today. Again, another day of double-digit strikeouts. And a lot of them were on very, very close pitches on the edge of the zone. The umpire scorecard may come back tomorrow and say, hey, a lot of these should have been balls, but they were so close it doesn't matter. If they're so close that you can't really tell, you need to battle. Put the ball in play, especially when you have runners in scoring position. The Red Sox this season, okay? This season, we're 5 games into the season. The Red Sox have 23 strikeouts with runners in scoring position. The next closest is the Blue Jays with almost 10 less at 14. That makes me want to vomit. The plate discipline is horrible, especially with 2 strikes. Just put the ball in play. It does not need to be a home run. It does not need to even be a hit. If you put the ball in play, mistakes happen. We saw that in Texas when Connor Wong hit a short chopper and Jake Berger swiped at it, missed it, and Wilyer Abreu scored a run. Please extend the zone with 2 strikes. Battle with 2 strikes. But we did not see that today, and that honestly made me sick to my stomach. It really, really did. I mean, Devers had 3. Trevor Story. If it wasn't for Rafael Devers, Trevor Story and Triston Casas would have more of a limelight on how absolutely horrible they've been at the plate this year. But we've got this guy, Devers, who continues to not be good. And at this point, the first few games, I was angry. I was like, what? Like, why? Why is this happening? What is going on? At this point, I feel bad for him. He's breaking records that you don't want to break. Every time he walks up to the plate, there is zero confidence. Today in particular, on I think 2 of 3 occasions, when he struck out 3 more times today. On 2 of 3 occasions, I believe, he was looking to walk, clearly. And that is not what you want to see from the face of your franchise. He had another negative day. However, he did show some signs of improvement. His plate discipline overall has been really good. He's not missing on pitches out of the zone. He just cannot catch up to any pitch that is in the zone. But today we started to see some signs. We started to see some solid foul balls, if that's even a thing. But he's starting to regain his time. We can see that. He just has not put it fully together yet. So this was probably this. I mean, I don't know. He also walked twice today as well. This is probably the best I've seen Devers at the plate. But then on the other hand, he struck out 3 more times, and 2 of them he was looking to walk, and they were not good. He did not extend the zone at all, and he struck out looking kind of dumb at the plate. So my whole thoughts on Devers. I feel bad for him at this point. He will figure it out eventually, but it is all timing at this point. It's all timing. So until he figures out that timing, you just got to keep playing him. And Cora said today he's going to keep playing. They are not going to give him a day off. He needs the reps. He needs to keep figuring it out. We did see signs of improvement today, though. So hopefully, in the near future, he gets that first hit and he starts raking. All right, before we continue, recaps after every single game. Thank you guys so much for all of you that supported the recaps when we were on the road in Arlington. We are back now in the studio, and I'm going to continue to do recaps after every single game on my Instagram at the Red Sox Rundown. Make sure You follow the Instagram for recaps, for graphics and photos and injury news and updates. We have everything over there. You will find everything there first. I promise you. The first thing I do when we get news or we get rumors or whatever is I go to the Instagram, then I go to X, and then we get a video out. So do not miss out. Follow us on Insta at the Red Sox Rundown for recaps after every single game. Talk about Alex Bregman. This was weird. I have not heard from Cora, which I think is probably good news, but Alex Bregman took a nasty fall late in the game as he was fielding a ground ball to his left, and he literally nose dove, like his nose into the dirt on a ground ball. And he got up, he looked kind of dazed, and his nose was all cut up and bleeding. I think he might have had a bit of a bloody nose too. So this is just something to monitor. He did end up batting in the ninth, which we'll talk about at the end of the video. So I'm not really that concerned about it, but when you hit your head that hard in the very hard, firm dirt, that is something to at least be a little bit worried about. So if we get updates and something's wrong, I will let you know. But this is something we had to talk about because it is noteworthy. He's one of your new stars, one of the leaders on your team. We cannot have something happen this early in the season, especially with how lackluster this team has looked. So seems like he's okay. Have not seen or heard anything from Cora, which I think is a good sign. He continued to play in the game. So I think he's okay, but something we definitely had to mention. 8th inning disaster. Justin Slaten came into the game in the 8th, and they gave up 4 runs. Credit where credit's due to the pitching staff after that first inning. Shawn Newcomb included. We talked about the defense. We talked about the bullpen. Garrett Whitlock, I actually probably should have had a note here. Garrett Whitlock looks elite so far. He looks awesome. Only I think it was like 23 pitches for 2 innings. Like, that's elite stuff. But Justin Slaten comes in, surrenders the first runs of the season for the bullpen, 4 of them. And that was a lackluster inning. It just felt like it kept getting worse and worse. I believe, if I'm not wrong, that's when Alex Bregman took the nosedive into the dirt. And it just went from bad to worse, 4 runs. And that ended up being the deciding factor in this game because in the 9th, the Red Sox scored 2 runs of their own. There was a real, legit 9th inning comeback happening in front of our very eyes. And I was like, oh my gosh, if they pull this off, this is going to be epic. Didn't end up happening, though. The Red Sox did score 2 in the 9th, though, to get the score to 8-5. If the Red Sox did not give up those 4 runs in the 8th, they would have won this damn game. Well, we don't know that, obviously. The Orioles would have come up and hit in the bottom of the 9th. I would assume a Chapman would have come on. Hindsight's always 20/20. You never know how this stuff's going to play out. But there was a comeback on in the 9th, which made me feel better about this offense. They showed some spunk. They showed some aggression. They showed that they were not going to go down quietly. And I really liked that. Alex Bregman came up to the plate with 2 outs, represented the tying run. God, wouldn't that have been a signature moment if he hits a bomb and ties up the game? For his first home run as Red Sox. Alas, he ended up popping out. This is the 2nd day in a row that he has ended the game. He struck out yesterday and then popped out today. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is how we got to the final score of 8-5 today. Look, I've been very negative the past few days. I think a lot of us have. Rafael Devers, the face of your franchise, looks absolutely horrible. He is breaking records that you do not want to break. This offense looks incredibly lackluster and has left double-digit runners on base, has struck out double-digit times, I think, in every game except for 1, if I remember correctly. And they just have soiled, Kristian Campbell's debut. They've soiled really elite stuff in the bullpen and solid starting pitching outings. But let's take a second to take a deep breath. We are 5 games into the 2025 season. I promise you, everything will be okay. Over the last few weeks leading up to opening day, the narrative shifted, and the Red Sox were seen by many as the favorites to win the AL East. And then when they came out, not even stumbling, but Alex Bregman-esque face planting into the dirt to start the season, then we started to hit the panic button. It's only 5 games. There is still 150 plus more games left in this season. So I'm going to give you the advice that I gave myself before I filmed this video. Take a deep breath. Everything will be okay. They will figure it out. This offense last year was elite. And then they added Alex Bregman to the fold, who is another really great bat. They will figure it out. So just take a deep breath. Everything will be okay. All right, before we get on out of here, what's your confidence level in the Red Sox going forward? Scale of 1 to 10. I'm going to say 7.5. I think the defense has looked really good. The bullpen, although imploded a little bit today, has looked really solid. I don't think that the rotation is going to struggle like it did this first week. I think they are going to reach their norm, which I think has the potential to be top 5, top 10 in baseball. And the offense, there's only up from here because they have looked really bad to start the season so far. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this edition of the Red Sox Rundown and the Red Sox Recap on the Red Sox Rundown by Chat Sports. If you have not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you already have, send this link to one of your Red Sox friends. Let's make this the fastest growing Red Sox YouTube channel on the planet and on YouTube. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll be back for another video in the next few days. And until next time, go Sox.